Hey, this is Adam from the Pursuit Counseling. Today, we're going to continue our series on grief. And today, our topic is depression. So let's review the five stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Since we are doing a series, we already have our first three videos out. And after this one, you can look forward to our last stage of grief, acceptance. But today, we're going to focus on depression. So I want to remind you that grief is not linear, but it does have stages. And we are going to focus on depression. So, what is the purpose of depression and grief? We might experience sadness, emptiness, or despair. This is what a lot of people think about when they think about grief. They focus on this depression stage. This is where we begin to realize the full extent of our loss. We might have trouble sleeping, poor appetite, physical fatigue, lack of energy. We might have uncontrollable crying spells, and we might have all of these wrapped up together at one time. The stage of depression and grief is one of the toughest. We might also experience self pity, loneliness, isolation, big feeling of emptiness, anxiousness, and we might have a feeling of being lost in life. Maybe we lost a loved one, a partner, a child, and without them in our lives, we may not realize our purpose of existence. So, how do we navigate depression? First, we have to show self compassion. We need to be kind to ourselves, just like we would a friend that's going through a similar situation. A lot of times we're more generous toward other people than we are ourselves. So we need to give ourselves permission to grieve, just like we would support our friends and our loved ones as they grieve. Next, we want to seek professional help. We want to work with a trained therapist who can help us navigate this process. The therapist can give you skill and they can give you tools to help you remember, such as writing a goodbye letter to that loved one. I know as a professional, I honor the experience of helping a person write a letter to a loved one that they lost, even though they know that they will never be able to deliver the letter. It is an essential skill in the grieving process, and your therapist can help you through that. The therapist will remind you and hold you accountable to stay connected in your community. It might be easy to call out of work, quit going to your social events that you do, such as church, community service events. We want to get connected in something bigger than ourselves to know that even in our loss, that we can be reminded that there is hope and that there is good in this world. So, a couple final thoughts. I want to remind you that depression is the stage of grief that can feel the most challenging. We want to understand that it is natural and normal to go through this process. You are not weak for going through this stage. You need to show yourself compassion. You need to seek professional help. And I want to remind you that grief may change us, but it does not define us. I find myself often saying in my grief sessions with clients that the feelings that we feel are for right now, but no feeling is final. So, right now, you might feel lost, but it does not mean you will always feel lost. This is Adam Glendie with the Pursuit Counseling. And thank you for taking this journey with us as we work through the stages of grief.